Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Bowman here, and today we are continuing our playthrough of Planescape Torment. And we are going to be doing some side quests here in the Hive. So, the first one is we're talking to this guy over here in the red hair, and he is supposed to be at work, and we're supposed to figure out what's taking him so long to get there. You see a thin man with stained clothes, a hooked nose, and two stubby horns jutting from his forehead. He's stumbling about and muttering to himself. He stinks of brine, vomit, and cheap wine. Are you Jaheli? Jaheli? Yeah. If so, Craddock needs you back at the marketplace. Craddock? The man's eyes wide. Ah, Craddock. Me, Genren's boss. Well, you can tell him I'm can pike off, and that he's a filthy dog and cur to the lowest sort, and Jahai's not working for him many more. He chips you with the finger. Tell him that. I'll tell him from a distance. Farewell. Alright. Uh-oh.
I'm gone.
And then this is the other guy we need to talk to while we're here. You see a soft-looking man with gentle, fair, staring eyes. He dresses in supple leather clothing and carries various implements of use and destruction about his body, such as rope spikes, tinderboxes, and empty vials of air. He looks half gone, literally. There's an insustainability to his existence, as if his essence has been partially leached away. He focuses those eyes on you, and suddenly you find them gripping and determined. Greeting to you, O Seeker. Greetings. He carefully sets down the mug he's holding and gives you all his attention. I have seen the far reaches of the multiverse and returned to tell the tale. I have walked upon the bodies of dead gods and spun moonbeams in the astral ahead of 1,000 shrieking nights. I have passed the edges of existence and watched my essence shiver away before me. What is it I can do for you? I have some questions for you. Who are you? I'm Cadron. Illborn, traveler, dreamer, tale spinner, and so forth. You are a traveler? Tell me of the plains. I'm tired, Seeker, so tired. I'm fresh back from negation. I'll answer what I can for you, but I cannot promise you will find satisfaction in the answers I give. What would you know? What would you hear of the outer planes, the prime material, or the inner planes? What's the difference? Oh my goodness. The difference is true essence, Seeker. The inner planes are matter, substance, true physicality. They are the building blocks of the multiverse, for it is from them that all belief in the elements springs. The inner planes filter through the ethereal plane, the plane of potential, some say, which forms the elements into the worlds of mortals. Once past the ethereal plane, one reaches the prime material, where exists all manner of mortals and monsters and myths and machines. It is there that belief is born, and there that the spirits that create the outer planes are born. When mortals die, they pass through the astral plane, a no place that is thought and mental energy itself. It is all things and in none. It is a paradox among other things, and it filters spirits into the great ring. Do you comprehend so far? Yes, go on. Now the outer planes, where should I start? Do you know the cardinal rules of the planes on which all others are based? Do you know about the composition of the outer planes? Do you know of the great ring and its divisions in our hearts? Do you know of the individual planes? Each of these leads to the next, and so it is best to start from the beginning. Tell me of the composition of the planes. The outer planes are created in belief and thought and faith. They take their imagined form from the prime material plane, shaped into forms that stagger the imagination, built by the accumulation of belief. Belief creates the planes. Belief is power here. Change belief, and you can change the nature of reality. The creatures that are born here, the plane-born, like the fiends and celestials, are truly born of thoughts and concepts of mortals. They each express some sort of ideal, and the more powerful the ideal, the more powerful the being. Thus, the being that symbolizes love is one of the strongest of all. That's why the powers, gods, some call them, live out here. This is where all the faith in them comes. This is where they are at their most pure and most strong. Their realms are extensions at their very being's manifestation in their godly essence. All of it is informed by belief. So the composition of the planes is belief. Tell me the great ring now. Among the loose unity of planeswalkers, we conceive of the initiate outer planes as a ring surrounding the plane of ultimate neutrality, the Outlands. The spire atop which Sigil sits is the center of the Outlands. The further one travels away from the spire, the less neutral the plane grows, until it spills into the neighboring planes. Each of these planes impinges on the outer lands, splitting themselves into law and chaos, good and evil. The Great Road marks the demarcation between the Outlands and the gate towns that spring up around the gates of these planes. Beyond the gate towns lie the hinterlands, uncharted territory that is lost to history. That loses thought. Danger lies in the hinterlands. The outer planes differ by morality, not substance. For you, we'll divide the planes into 3 sets: the upper planes of good, the lower planes of evil, and the boundary planes of neutrality. These are then divided further by law and chaos, with the Outlands in the middle. Which of these interest you? Of the upper planes, there are the neutral planes, the lawful planes, and the chaotic planes. Which would you like to know? The neutral upper planes contain the beachlands, a place of neurality and goodness, with a slight tinge of chaos where the animals rule in the eternal moon and night. They hold Bitopia, a twin paradise of industry and labor where all work towards the good of all, and Asylum, the sweetest plane of goodness and calm I have ever come across. Alas, right now I am not well enough to enjoy any of their restoration effects. What would you hear of now? Curtin gives a small shudder. I am not the best person to speak of the planes of law, he says, for the innate structure and the ultimate patterns they impose frighten me. I steer clear of them because I value my individuality more than I value the knowledge they'll bring me. They include regimented Arcadia, nearest of the good planes to the unbending order of Mechanus, and Mount Celestia, home of the Archons, an island in the Silver Sea. These are where I feel at home. The chaotic planes, though I steer clear of Asgard for the most part. The endless battles and tests of metal among the floating earthbergs of the plane don't do much for my disposition. Aboria, though, the mountains are taller, the air cleaner, the rivers pure, and the game larger than anywhere else. It is a true paradise, a place where passions run high and the wine never ceases to flow. When I have recovered enough of my wits and myself, when we are all done with the outer planes, you should ask me the inner, and I will describe my journey to you. I return to Arboria's bowers and glades and lose myself for a time. I met a woman named Ingress with very bad teeth. She said she had come through a portal from some world that was opened by a tune hummed near 2 crossed trees. Can you get her home? He pauses briefly, thinking, I know the portal of which you speak, though I have not traveled in these 30 years gone. I will take her home, Seeker. Go tell her to await my arrival, then meet me back here, and I will tell you if I was successful or not. Thanks.
Updated my journal. All right.
Now I gotta run. Hold on. I think we want to go... Oh yeah, we went this way. Uh-oh.
I've never seen something so ugly. I've not.
Done.
Ugh, really? These guys are starting to get annoying. Alright. Oh, I can't.
Done.
much, Chief. Just look natural. Casual.
I can never find this person. Thought she was around.
Looks like the Dusty's lost one of the deaders. Telling his copper about that.
Oh, there she is. You see Ingress. She is huddled inside her cloak and dirty rags, her teeth chattering. She is glancing furtively about her, as if expecting to be attacked at any moment. Greetings, Ingress. You? She squints at you. What is it you want me now? You want me to leave? Not leaving the city, so I'm not. I can't. I tried. It's not a city. Ingress, I found someone who can take you back to your home plane. I want to go. I want to leave this place. His name is Cateron. He should be along shortly to help you. Trust him, alright? I'll go back. Ingress says nothing, merely nods quietly, her teeth chattering inside her mouth. I'll go back and meet Cateron at the Smoldering Coast bar and make sure everything turned out alright. Be strong, Ingress.
Updated my journal.
Alright. Jeez. Let's just run.
All right.
Oh my. Cateron stands as you approach him. The Tooth Woman wanted you to have these, he says, holding out his hand. She wanted to express her thanks, even out the balance book, as it were, and be done with the damaged things. In the palm of his hand are Ingress's dancing teeth, and he smoothly deposits them in your hand. Enjoy them, Seeker.
Updated my journal.
What's up? Good as done.
Alright. Now we run once again.
I'm gone.
I think... Hold on. Uh-oh. Ah, yes. You see Craddock. His scowl has deepened since when you first saw him. It looks as if he's about to crack his face in two. I found Jaheli. Is that right? Craddock glances around. Where is he then? He said to pick off that you were Kerr in the lowest sword and that he wasn't going to work for you any longer.
Updated my journal.
Craddock's face turns a bright red and his face cracks into a snarl. Damned be his name. May all evils of this plains hound his footsteps. A blistering stream of insults, threats, and speculation about Jedi's family roots issues from Craddock's mouth.
New taunts, alright.
Ooh. Morty clicks his teeth together as Craddock builds up steam. You can almost hear him taking notes inside his skull. You know, I could fill in for him if you need help. Craddock studies you for a moment. Yee? Ha! You wouldn't. He suddenly falls silent. Well, mayhap you can. It's hard work and there's no drinking on my watch. Understood. Let's get started. The work is long, but at the end of the shift you are not the least bit tired. The other laborers are amazed at how quickly you are able to work and the amount of weight you can carry. Craddock grunts as you return. You've bravadeer shoulders, you do. You're worth twice what Jaheli was. Here's your pay. He tosses you a handful of coins, 20 coppers and all. Now get. We've got no more use for you. Farewell, then. Okay. Now, let's see. We're quick.
All right.
Maybe I got a dust deaders today said walking once looks like.
Save quickly.
Damn it! Yeah, good as done.
This filthy-looking corpse is in sad shape. Its shoulders are slumped, and one of its legs is broken, causing it to lean to one side. Stains cover it from head to toe. Judging from the smell and the texture, the stains run from rotten fruit to mud and bird droppings. To add to the indulgence, graffiti has been carved into its body, and several notices have been nailed into its chest, back, and head. I thought I was in bad shape. Don't all those nails hurt? The corpse makes no response. Despite the many stitches, the corpse's rotting skin is peeling in several places, revealing long stretches of muscle and bone. You'd guess that this zombie is frequently used as target practice. The fruit and mud stains aside, some of the tears in the skin still have rocks and bits of glass lodged in them. One wicked-looking cobblestone is still embedded in the side of its head. Pry out the cobblestone. You grab a hold of the cobblestone and pull it out of the corpse's head. Traces of brain matter and rotting flesh slowly drip from it. It looks like whatever was in its head turned to ooze long ago. A number of the leaflets have been ruined by rain, but some of them are still legible. One tacked to his back is from something called the Office of Vermin and Disease Control. The one on his forehead looks like a bill of fare for a restaurant. One on his chest looks like an official notice. Another appears to be some sort of want ad. The graffiti runs from obscenities about the dustman to slogans glorifying what appear to be local gangs. One piece of graffiti catches your eye. Someone has carved the name Farad on the corpse's left arm, then slashed an X across it. Look at the post for to those hive citizens wishing gainful employ with the most honorable and generous sigil government. Inquire forthwith at Office of Vermin and Disease Control to help stem plague of brain rats. Bounties paid. Copper given for each rat tail brought. Tails must be genuine and from rat only. No cat, dog, or fiend tail accepted. Office several streets southwest of Mortuary Gate in Lower Hive. Ask for official inspector in charge. And respected Phineas T. Lort. Someone has posted a bill of fare for the Gathering Dust Bar, but the bill of fare cannot be read, and the word Smoldering Corpse Bar has been scrawled in charcoal over the bill. Smoldering Corpse Bar. The zombie immediately jerks its left arm upwards and points far to the southeast. A moment later, the arm falls back into its side with a thump. Reminds me of a job I had once. He seems embarrassed. Well, I mean, without the arms. Examine the official notice. Public notice. By the order of the Judiciary Council and in accordance with the Citizenry of Sigil, let it be known that those defacing a registered servant of the Dustman, either by graffiti, malicious attack, or by posting notices, will constitute felonious assault, and the perpetrator will be answerable for the vandalism of said servant. Wanted. Able-bodied person willing to investigate a matter of the most importance to the Dustman cause. Will offer suitable compensation upon a successful completion of said task. Interested parties inquire with Initiated Norochi, Gathering Dust Bar.
Looks like that Dusty's lost one of the deaders.
You see a striking red-haired girl dressed in leather armor. Her right arm is covered with a series of interlocking plates that look as if they were taken from the skin of some creature, and a horn shoulder piece protects her left arm. Oddly enough, she has a tail that is flicking back and forth as you watch. Pike off. Greetings. The girl ignores you. Who are you? The girl sneers, then makes an obscene gesture with her tail. Pike off, you clueless sod. Hey, easy, I just had some questions. And what does he want? You know you've got a tail? Do I now? The girl looks at her tail. So I do, and here I was thinking that this was a trick of me eye. My, aren't you a sharp cutter? She bares her teeth. Why don't you piss off to whatever hole you crawled out of and leave me be? Okay, I had some other quit. It's just as well neither you nor the tail are for sale. You couldn't squeak out a living with them anyway. What about you, blighter? Say it again. Forget him, I had some other questions. But I have nothing more to say to you, Burke. Get.
I know well, today said walking ones looks like.
I'm looking for someone named Farad. Do you know where I can find him? Aye, I might. I might say more if you sweeten the question, eh? She clicks her tongue and rubs two fingers together. Jink, jink? She means money. Oh. She glances more than shrugs. What the skull said. Hard coin. Alright, how much? How much for you to know? She studies you, then folds her arms. Come on, I haven't got all day. How about 10? That enough? That lump of copper isn't enough to what a fainted of appetite. You'll be needing more if you want to make friends here. 20 then. Aye, alright then. She pockets the money. It's gone so quickly you have no idea where it vanished to. Look for him in the alley spineward from the mortuary. That's to the south, west of the mortuary, eh? Oddly enough, south and west of the mortuary is an alley filled with heavily armed thugs. Know anything about that? Oh, aye, well maybe it'd be best asking them where the Scudder Crutch is. Enough of your lies. Tell me where Farad is, girl, or you'll soon number amongst the city's dead. Bar that, I have nothing more to say to you.
Well, like the Dusty's lost one of the deaders. Looks like the Dusty's lost one of the deaders.
All right. Damn.
Damn it.
I'm hurt. Done.
What? Sure, why not?
Looks like the Dusty's lost one of the deaders. Looks like the Dusty's lost one of the deaders. That a country be telling his copper about that.
I'm gone.
This woman looks to be in her middle years, and her hair has streaks of gray running through it. Lines of gray crisscross her face. As she sees you, she seems torn between asking you to leave and calling for the man at the table. Greetings. You'd best leave, for I call me husband. He won't take kindly to having barged you into our home. If you were going to call him, you would have done so already. I have some questions for you. She glances towards her husband, worry in her eyes. I have not the time, stranger. Do not be troubling me with such things. Excuse me, are you all right? Me? She seems surprised. Oh, she lowers her voice. You'd best leave. Me husband has not been himself of late. You'd best not provoke him with your presence. What's wrong with him? He's been out of sorts late. A touch of the cough, maybe. She gives an unconvincing half shrug. What's really wrong with him? I think he's done something he regrets. Her worried expression melts into despair. I think he signed one of the dead contracts. I cannot imagine what possessed him to do such a foolish thing. Dead contracts? The dead. The dustmen have contracts to give them the right to somebody's body after they die. What did the dustmen do with the body after death? Animate it with their black magics, turn it into one of the walking dead, make it a worker till, she looks at her husband helplessly, till it rots away. Why did your husband sign such a thing? He may not have been a goat eager to bring home some jink than custom. He's prideful, but I think he's hurt himself more than doing so. Can this contract be undone? I've tried. I've spoken to the dustman he did the sign-in with, but he's cold and chill like all the dusties. He even lectured me on my husband as if I had no right to try and help him. Her lips become tight and thin line as if picturing the dustman's face. He was cold and cruel, he was. Let me see what I can do. Who is the dustman your husband signed the contract with? The dusty calls himself Gravesend. I know not his first name. He has a table at the dustman bar in the hive, gathering dust. I believe the place is named. You can most like find him there, trying to get more people to sign his contracts. I'll seek him out. Where is the gathering dust bar?
Updated my journal.
Head out to the street outside and go to the memorial stone, then head south and west from there. She taps her finger against her chin. You should run right to it. There's one of them. Her face wrinkles in disgust. Walking corpses out front. Very well, I'll see what I can do. I won't turn away such a friendly gesture. She seems grateful. Then her expression returns. But I might ask you not let on that I asked you to do such a thing. My husband has a terrible temper, and if he were to find out... I promise your husband will not find out. Thanks, stranger. I appreciate your help. It's no trouble. I'll go see about undoing your husband's contract now. Save. Yeah, right there.
I've never seen something so ugly. I'm not slow sailed.
Let's see. Ah, here he is. This tiny weazened man is dwarfed by his huge dustman robes. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature. Although he looks to be in his late 90s, this man is extremely energetic. He fidgets continuously, and his eyes dart around the bar like a bird's. The man's eyes gleam as he takes your measure and gives a slight nod in greeting. Hail and well met, traveler. You look like the one who just getting their sigil legs about them. He trails off. Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow. No, at least I don't recall you. Maybe I was mistaken. Mordai shakes his head. Well, no matter. How is it that Mordai Gravesend may help you? Do you seek the contract, perhaps? Gravesend, are you the dustman who signed the contract with Agnyar? Mayhap, he thinks for a moment. I do not recall the name, however. I would like to settle that contract. I'm afraid that is impossible. The contract is signed, settled and binding. The contract is tearing the man's life apart. That is indeed unfortunate, but it is now a matter of law, and not a matter of the heart. The contract is causing the man distress. Is it possible that he may not even be able to approach the true death with such emotions churning in his mind? He chews over it for a moment. It looks as if you'd negotiated him into a corner. I cannot. It is a matter of law, my friend. Besides, the burden lies upon the signer to overcome his own feelings in order to reach the true death. I cannot... So what you're saying is that you'll deny him the true death for the sake of a piece of parchment? He signs and holds up his hands as if to placate you. Look, it is not how you're asking it out to be. You obviously hold the philosophy of the dustman in contempt to damn a man's soul over a piece of paper. Do other members of your faction know of your conduct in this regard? If not, they will soon. He glares at you for a moment, opens his mouth, closes it, then opens it. By the nine hells, wait here. He drops his voice to whisper and keeps your bone box latch. He gives an angry scowl and stomps off. A few seconds later he returns. He's holding a dusty piece of parchment he gives you. Here, all for a man's peace of mind. Now begone and nettle me with your preachings no longer.
I couldn't carry any more, so I had to drop it.
What's up, Chief? Good as done.
I've never seen something so ugly. I've not started climbing telling his
Ingar's wife looks up hopefully as you approach. Yes, I was able to get the contract from Mordai. Here it is. She looks relieved and her eyes become misty. Oh, by the powers, you must be a diva in disguise to do such a thing for someone you barely know.
Updated my journal.
Nay, if you could show me husband the contract, say you got it for him, but don't say how. I appreciate it. Very well, I'll show it to him then. Oh. Bye. This man looks haunted. His eyes are half littled as he has had trouble sleeping, and his hair is long and unkempt. His beard is flecked with bits of dead skin and old bits of food. He doesn't seem to notice you as you approach. The man glances up at the sound of your voice, and his slack expression vanishes. It looks like someone has lit 2 fires in his eyes. What be your business bargaining into my house? His eyes narrow and his teeth clench. Get her, I'll send you back to wherever grave you called from. I show him the Dustman contract. As you pull out the contract, the blood drains out of his face. For a moment he seems at a loss of words, then his temper quickly resurfaces. Where did you get that? By the powers, you'd best tell me. I took it from a dustman named Mordai. It has your name on it. He can't seem to take his eyes from the contract. Why'd you bring it to me? To ransom it? Tear up the contract.
Updated my journal.
You tear up the parchment, and Agnar's eyes follow the bits of paper as they float to the ground with a desperate look. He shudders slightly, then straightens as if a great weight was lifted from him. He looks like he's about to thank you, then stops and stares at you suspiciously. Nothing's free, not in the Hive, Cutter. Consider this free, and expect a lot of rules in the Hive to change while I'm around. His face, his angry expression crumbles. He looks tired of fighting his good fortune. I must have prayed in the right powers this past half month, he sighs. You have me thanks, Cutter, for whatever it's worth. Actually, perhaps you can help me. I have some questions. I'm looking for a man named Farad. Do you know where I can find him? Hey, that'd be name known to me, and not a fond name it is. What can you tell me about him? He's one of them collectors, and one with a long shadow, and has quite a few boys at his beck and call. He may not be Lord of the Realm, but he's not a smart one to tinker with. Do you know where I can find him? Aye, but I wouldn't be doing you a favor telling you. One of me kin fell into his lot a few months back and spilled some of the dark of old Farad. To hear ya, Farad's actually got his kit buried somewhere under Ragpicker Square. To get to it, there's some kind of portal you need to jump through while carrying some junk in your hand. Where's Ragpicker Square? It's a few blocks from here. Go straight west from the mortuary gate. Keep going until you start seeing trash and rags piled up everywhere. You do best to walk careful there. The collectors there don't always wait for a body to pile before collecting on the corpse, you hear? Thanks for the information. Farewell.
Looks like my skills have increased.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is where we'll end this episode. So thank you very much for joining me on this playthrough of Planescape Torment. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And as always, we'll see you all in the next one.